Good morning, everybody. My name is Katie, and I am one of the education specialists at the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. So, thank you for joining us today. Each day, we are bringing you a little live lesson on some aspect of what we do at the Solid Waste Authority. So, today, we are going to be talking about pollution and how we can do our parts to help prevent and clean up pollution. So, if you've just joined us, my name is Katie, and I am one of the education specialists here at the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. The Solid Waste Authority was started in 1975, and we are a local government agency that is responsible for maintaining the solid waste of the residents and businesses of Palm Beach County. So we handle recycling, we handle garbage, biosolids, and home hazardous waste. So those are all the things we manage, and today we're going to kind of be focusing on the ideas of keeping up the environment and helping to keep that clean because that's a big part of what we do. So, as human populations have increased, land uses have changed. Many of our rivers have become polluted through this. The example that we're going to do today demonstrates that just as we each contribute to the problem, we must also be part of the solution. This story tells about the water in Florida and how we have developed around it. It's called Who Polluted South Florida and has been adapted from an activity by Population Connection. So we're going to get started with our story. For many thousands of years, people have lived in South Florida. They hunted in the woods, harvested foods from wetlands, and caught fish in the rivers. Imagine a Native American filled this jar of water in front of you from the stream about 500 years ago. How does it look to you? Does this look like water you might drink, swim in, or eat fish? Probably yes, right? It looks very clean. When the first explorers to visit South Florida arrived, they found Native American villages and seas of grass, as well as marshes and swamps. Soon colonists began to arrive. They found rivers and wetlands with abundant fish and game, warm and humid weather, and sandy soil. It was a harsh environment for those unused to it, but the colonists persisted. How do you think the colonists used the wetlands? So early on, they probably used wetlands for bathing, food, drinking and cooking water, and transportation, things along those lines. Do you think we use the rivers and wetlands in the same ways today? What are the similarities and differences in the way we use the river? So we still do use our rivers and wetlands for things like transportation and food, but we also use them every day because a lot of our local water comes from these wetlands. So your drinking water might come from there, the stuff you bathe in or shower in. Our drinking water comes from the wetlands and from our groundwater. Since its discovery, this area has changed. This is the story of those changes. I'm going to be naming different characters throughout, and when I name those characters, I'm going to add something to our water. Years went by, and occasional storms drenched the area. High winds whipped through the trees and blew leaves into the water. So I have my trees here. I'm going to throw my leaves into the water. Gradually, cities in the surrounding area developed. Developers cleared wetlands and forests to build houses and businesses. Rains washed loose soil from construction sites into the river. Loose soil now in our wetlands. Is this water safe to drink? Yes, right? It's still safe to drink. It just has dirt and leaves in it. And it probably had this in it too when the first explorers came and found our wetlands. Would you swim in it? And is it safe for wildlife? Yes, to both of those still, right? At first, the cities were small. Upstream, farmers planted crops to feed the city's growing population. So I have farmers here. Some of these crops grew right up against the edge of the wetland, and fertilizer washed off the land and into the water. Other farmers kept cows and other animals in their barnyards. As rainwater drained out of the barnyard, it carried some of the manure into a little creek behind the farm. So I have our manure here, and that creek flows into the wetlands. Would you drink this water now? Would you swim in it? Go boating on it? It's getting a little bit more dirty, isn't it? So we have fertilizers in there and manure. Is it safe for wildlife? As the city grew, more and more people began to move to the nearby countryside. These rural houses were not connected to the city sewer system. If not properly managed, sewage from these homeowners could seep into the streams and wetlands. So I have my sewage here. Ooh. Add that. To meet the needs of the city, area officials decided that they would need more materials for construction. Upstream, a limestone quarry was dug. Rainwater drained down into the mine shaft and soaked the piles of waste and scraps from mining. This made the rainwater become acidic, sort of like strong vinegar. Then the acid water trickled off the banks and back out into the river. So I have my limestone quarry here. Add that. Ooh, I heard some fizzing there. To produce the power, an electric power plant was built along the river. Gases coming out of the smokestacks combined with moisture in the air to form acids. The pollution falls back to Earth as acid rain or smog. Adding from my electric power plant. Would you drink this water now? Would you swim in it? Go boating? I probably wouldn't drink this at this point. How could we determine if this water was safe for wildlife? We might look at the plants around it or maybe the fish in the stream and see what's going on. We could also test for pH levels with litmus paper or view water samples under microscopes. Now these cities are one of the largest metropolitan areas in the country. Traffic congestion is a big problem for commuters who drive their cars to and from work. Car exhaust fumes, just like power plant fumes, cause acid rain. If a car is not kept in good repair, it might also leak oil or other fluids, which will be washed off the pavement and into the wetlands with the next rain. So we have our commuters. How do the residents of the city and its suburbs spend their time? In one neighborhood, many gardeners are out working in their yards. Many of them are using weed killers and insect sprays to keep the lawns pretty. The next rain will wash these poisons into a little creek nearby, and then into the wetland. So we have our gardeners with their pesticides and insecticides. Whoa. One father is teaching his daughter how to change the antifreeze in their truck or their engine coolant. They pour out the used antifreeze into the driveway. Antifreeze is sweet tasting and can poison animals that lick it. It can also get in the nearby creek and poison fish. So I have my antifreeze. Add that to our runoff. Nearby, a boy is washing the family car. The soapy water rushes down the driveway and into the storm drain. The storm drain empties into the streams. The grease and grime on a car can contain asphalt from the roads, asbestos from the brakes, rubber particles from the tires, toxic metals, and rust. If the boy had gone to a local car wash, the water would have been treated before it returned to the wetland. So here's all that runoff from the car washing. Next door, a family cleaning out their garage finds an old rusty can with a tattered skull and crossbones label still stuck on it. The mysterious liquid looks dangerous, and they want to get rid of it before someone gets hurt. They decide to pour it down the storm drain out by the curb. The mysterious liquid is out of sight, but it is heading for the wetlands. Here's our mysterious liquid. On nice days, many people head down to the beach. Some zoom up and down the intercoastal in motorboats and do not notice that a little engine oil leaks into the water. Here's our engine oil. A group of friends has spread blankets on the shore for a beach party. Here are the things left over from our beach party. They did not pick up after themselves. Many families are picnicking in the parks too. Some of these people have left trash on the shore. With the next storm, that trash will wash into the ocean. Those were our picnickers. Further upstream is a person fishing who has snagged their hook on a log and rather than untangling, breaks off the nylon fishing line. So here's our fishing line, and put that in there too. Okay, so here is our final wetland after everybody has participated. Who do you think polluted the waterways in South Florida? Who was responsible for this? Because I think we can agree that it is polluted now. There's a lot of stuff in there that shouldn't be. But who's responsible for it? It's pretty much everybody, right? Everybody contributed something to this. There's something they didn't do or something that they just didn't dispose of properly. So could something be done to stop these kinds of pollutions? There's probably a lot that could be done, right? So our last thing, our fishing line. We want to untangle that and not just leave it out there, right? A lot of places have spots where you can properly dispose of your fishing line, and we want to make sure we do that so we don't leave that out in our waterways. Could do a lot of harm to the animals who use those as their homes. What are some of the ways we could clean up this pollution? Well, for our bucket here, we could use things like strainers to pull out the big things, and that's something that can be done in real life. We can use nets for that. Sometimes there are chemicals that can counteract what has happened here. But do you think it's easier to prevent the pollution or to clean it up? Yes, it's easier to prevent pollution in the first place, right? So I want you to go take your time at home and think about something each of us could do to help prevent pollution. Is there something you can do around you to help prevent this type of pollution? Some of the things might include disposing of your mysterious liquids, your home hazardous waste, properly, which when we are back open completely after this COVID-19 passes, that would include our home hazardous waste drop offs. We also want you to put things in your recycling bins and make sure that the correct items go into your recycling bins. And anything that you're unsure about or that you know doesn't go into the recycling bins, we want you to put those into the garbage. That way we can collect it and burn it and turn it into clean, renewable energy. Yes, thank you, Patty. Thank you, Don. Both the best way is to prevent that pollution. And hello, Donna. So if you have any questions, please feel free to type them into the comments and I will answer them. In the meantime, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. Don't forget to tune in tomorrow on Facebook. We're going to be getting a special behind the scenes view of Renewable Energy Facility 2. It was built in 2015 and it is the cleanest, greenest waste to energy facility in all of North America. And not many people get to see what happens behind the scenes, and that includes the fire. So Thank you again for joining us. My name is Katie, and I'm one of the education specialists at the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. And don't forget to keep tuning in to our live programs each and every day at 11 a.m. Bye, everybody.